What's up, everybody? Yes, indeed, OG is back. You guys already know what time it is with this guy right here. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. Well, anyways, people, this is the fitness channel, so just bear with me. I usually start off reflecting a little bit about more speaking on fitness and nutrition, health awareness, and then I end up with a little story. But today, I need to reflect on something and totally disagree with Mr. Gunner, what he put out about Wasco State Prison. Why? Because I did time in Wasco State Prison. That was the first reception that I hit, so maybe he's giving it from information that he just received from somebody. Maybe times have changed. I don't know, but I will let you guys know, man. But anyways, remember, man, hit the like and subscribe button, put your notification bell on if you want to get started in your fitness journey. I'm becoming that best version of yourself. Shoot me a DM. Go check out my Instagram, High Power Fitness, high_power_fitness_, or you could email me at highpowerfitness@yahoo.com. And to the individuals that keep on saying that my material scripted, I don't know where you guys get that from. It's scripted. A teleprompter? Where am I getting that from? I'm talking into my phone. My phone is being held up by my barbecue pit. But anyways, people, that's here nor there. So anyways, people, like I said, I normally start off with a little bit about something about nutrition. Today, I'm just going to touch very little bit, very minimum, because I want to move on to what Gunner spoke on. And there's a lot that I need to say about that, because a lot of, according to my experience and knowledge, that's wrong information. But anyways, people, let's speak a little bit about vitamin B1, man. Okay, I'm going to speak just a little bit on vitamin B1 and why refined starches are the #1 vitamin depleting food. And I'm going to put you guys up on a little game with importance of vitamin B1 and the role it plays in metabolism. Okay, you guys really need to spot signs of vitamin B1 deficiency. So refined starches are like rice flour, tapioca flour, corn flour, modified food starches, stuff with that. Those food products right there will deplete you in vitamin B1. Okay, so just be very careful on what you put into your body, because obviously what you put in your body shows in your body the way you take care of your body. You got to cherish your body. This is your temple. This is what I do day in, day out, people. So I'm not going to go any further on that, the vitamin B1 deficiency, but refined starches is the #1 cause behind vitamin B1 deficiency. You could take the knowledge that I give you out here as a grain of salt, or just do more research on it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's stuff that I've experienced myself. So I actually cut out all my refined starches. I stay away from that stuff. It's just, especially when you get older. You know what I mean? When you're younger, you don't realize the effects of it. It usually catches up to you when you get older, and that's just the way life is. You know what I mean? It's just like having a classic car. You know what I mean? If you take care of it and check all the vitals and do the basic maintenance on it to keep it up, it's going to last you forever. You know what I mean? It'll make it to become a classic and not just junk. You know what I mean? But if it's the same thing with your body, you take care of your body today, it'll be there for you tomorrow and the day after and the day after. You just got to really start investing in your health, man. Health is wealth. You know what I mean? Without your health on point, you're going to be limited on things that you could do in life. So anyways, people, today I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go straight to it. But before we go and do that, remember to hit the like and subscribe button. People, put your notification bell and all. Let's get this channel up to 10,000 subscribers. Once we do 10,000 subscribers, I will start doing lives and I will interact with everybody, people. I do not discriminate. I am non-biased. I'm colorblind. I don't care what you are, what you identify as. You are a human being that is coming to my channel, and hopefully you come with respect, because if you don't, I'm telling you, there's not going to be no DPs on my yarda. You will be removed. Anyways, people, that's just OG being humorous, okay? So for you real tough guys out there, quit it already. Put a smile on your face, man. Life is good. Any day above the ground breathing is a good day, man. Stop trying to be that mashika on this screen and behind that keyboard. You know, I mean, if you really feel that way, like I said, go shake at your neighbor's tree and watch what kind of fruits fall out of it. You'd be surprised. Or go on that, what do they call that, Megan's Law? Do your thing, chicken wing, you know what I mean? Because out here behind the screen, tapping your fingers, all you're doing is creating calluses on your tips. How the fuck are you going to be wiping your ass a few years down the line? You keep on doing this mashika tipping, you know, with your fingertips. Well, anyways, people, Wasco State Prison. Gunner had mentioned Wasco State Prison. He doesn't understand why they send Kane Velasquez there. You know, he said that he was only been to one reception center, and I guess that was DBI Tracy. My first time going through the system, I'm going to tell you right now, our main reception was Chino State Prison. I was never fortunate to land in my backyard to go to reception. That's every Southerner's wish, guaranteed, especially when you're new to the system. You know, I was shipped off when I caught the Grey Goose. I went to Wasco State Prison. That was my reception. And yes, we were mingling with people from up north and bulldogs. They didn't separate us. So that's one thing I have to say that is different from the information that Mr. Gunner put down, because it's been years, shit that jumped off. That was the first place I ever went on a mission. You know what I mean? I played a role that was nobody. I felt like I was somebody. Why? Because I was being laced up by one of my older homeboys, and the role that my homeboy played was of importance. At the end of the day, he was just somebody making sure that everything was held together for a bigger purpose. He wasn't nobody, but he was given and blessed a position. Okay, so and with that position, he required pretty much security, and the reason is because we were housed with Northerners, and there was very limited bulldogs. The bulldogs would really get they would actually get removed right away, because that was a time when they were going at it with the homies from up north as well. So yeah, they would land there and they would get moved to their, pretty much they had their own it wasn't so much a yard, it was a pod or something like that. I forget. It's been many years, people, so bear with me. I'm going to be rambling on all over the place. And yeah, so during all my whole criminal career, I was never fortunate to land in Chino State Prison as far as landing as my reception center. I ended up over there doing time, you know, after I got transferred from up north, and they sent me to the wrong joint, and then they ended up sending me to Chino, and I stood in Chino for about maybe 8 or 9 months, and once when I went from Chino, they shot me out to Lancaster. You know, that I came from Pinta, that was up north. I did my time, whatever time I did, and I put in for a transfer to make it easier, because I actually applied for a hardship, because it was, you know, hard for my wife and my kids to come see me, you know. So it took a while to get my hardship, but there was ways of doing it. And I got to give a shout out to Dusty from the Hells Angels, because during that time he gave me permission to use a certain individual's name that was from his club and that played a very important role as a mayor of Sacramento. Man, it's crazy, huh? He was an HA. But yeah, with that notice, and once he shot down a recommendation for me, you know what I mean? I guess it must have gotten somebody's ear. Whether that played a role or not, I have no idea. But if you're still around, Dusty, more than likely if you are, you're very old. But yeah, shout out to Dusty and you know, them cats right there, you know. But anyways, people, yeah, so yeah, I'm rambling on, but I'm back to Wasco State Prison. Wasco State Prison was off the hook during the time that I was there. Anywhere me and the homie went, we were pretty much his bodyguards, my older homeboy, And like I said, the reason why it's not that he was somebody of authority. I mean, to a certain extent, he had certain leverage over the way things were ran. I should just say that. But at the end of the day, he was nobody. He was just blessed with the position to make sure things that were ran the way they were supposed to have ran. And one other thing, as far as a reception being a reception, every reception, from my recollection, has a main line, whether it be a 1 yard to a 3 yard. Every reception has a main line. Even the bay has a level 1. Those are the cats that run the prison, that bring in the product that come from the streets before they get inside the institution. You got to keep in mind, it's got to come from a lower level security to do all the processing to reach the the higher levels. So as far as that, unless times have changed or whoever's giving them this information, maybe it has changed. It's been many years since I've been in Wasco, but I tell you one thing right now, when I landed in Wasco, that's the first place I ever discovered the battle between the North and the South. And absolutely, it was basically, it wasn't so much on site, but if the opportunity was right, we were supposed to, do our thing. We'll just keep it that way and respectful. And it came from both sides, you know what I mean? I'm going to speak on this one individual. Man, I remember seeing this. This was the biggest fucking norteño I've ever seen. I went and I had a little bit of size on me too, but this individual, man, he had San Fran, real big ass letters behind his trapezius, behind his shoulders with the Golden Gate Bridge and all that. San Franero, and he was with the business. He was let's just put it this way. That was an individual that posed a threat. That individual had to be relocated. Let's just put it that way. Okay, and keep in mind, that was a place where I went on my first mission. I went on that mission with honor, because it was representing my homeboy in a bigger cause. I was young and naive at the time. I didn't know any better. I thought maybe it would reflect onto wherever I go, but in the long run, it doesn't. People, all that fucking prison life, don't glamorize it. That shit is for the birds. Leave it back there for the homies that are still back there doing their thing, Stop interfering with the way that things are ran. Stop making things complicated. Like I said, you got to respect every last individual that's living that life behind there. The ones that are out here behind this screen trying to act like they're part of that life, you're not part of that life, especially here on social media. Keep it real, man. I've lived that life to a certain extent, people. That life is my past, and it will always be my past. It will never be forgotten, because I've learned a lot from it. And a lot of times, that's what keeps me. I'm always looking around. I don't know what they have a word for that. It's extensive visioning or something like that. I forget what it's called, but to me, it's more like PTSD. You know what I mean? I'm always aware of who's around me at all times. Whenever I walk into a building, I survey everything. Who poses a threat? Who's who? Where's everyone at? It's just something I do. It's helped me, to survive out here in this real world. Especially nowadays, coming from the background that I come from, I have a lot to lose, people, and I'm not trying to jeopardize my freedom. I'm on top of my A game. I'm a full-time online fitness coach, and I'm being here for my family and giving back to my family. This is my way of apologizing to my family, by being right, showing up every day, day in, day out, not missing, doing what I do. You know what I mean? But anyways, back to Wasco State Prison. Yeah, Mr. Kane Velasquez landed over there. I believe he's got there with a short amount of time. They used to have this thing that they called a 90-day observation. I don't think he falls underneath that criteria, but all bullshit aside, Kane Velasquez ain't going nowhere. he's not going anywhere. I mean, the only way I would see the CDC benefiting off of that is by transferring them just to get some money off of that. But honestly, with that certain individual, the statue that he holds, the title of recognition that man is, low key, he's a star. You know, they're not gonna take any chances of that man something happening to that individual. You know what I mean? And get sued. You know, they're just not going to. You're damn right. He will be treated with special treatment, especially for the officers. You know how big that fucking MMA industry is? Huge. Everybody's a fan of that. You know, that man's going to get so much love going through the system no matter where he lands. Yes, there's always that certain individual that may want to test the waters. But coming from where I come from, you know what I mean? It's no hands-on policy. You know, you can't be doing that stuff. I can't speak for other factions. I'm more than sure they follow the same type of reglas, especially nowadays. You know what I mean? With the end of hostility, ain't nobody trying to stir stuff up, even though it still happens, and it's always going to happen, especially if you're being put on a yard that's integrated. Because all bullshit aside, a real one that's really about that shouldn't be anywhere. Anytime giving access to anybody that's a POS, you're supposed to handle your business. You know what I mean? And like I said in the past, I'm going to tell you today, there's a difference between POSs and people that just end up locking it up through drug habits. I mean, yeah, if you want to get technical about it, back when I was coming from doing time behind them walls, no matter what the reason was, when you made that change, you're considered no good. You know what I mean? Whether you told this, and that. I mean, yeah, there's levels of it, but you're still no good. You know. But anyways, people. Yeah, so Mr. Kane, I really doubt if he's going to hit anywhere. He may just roll over to the level 1 yard right there. Why? The man's never been in trouble in his life. They're going to evaluate a whole point system. I'm not sure exactly how the point system works this day of age, but he doesn't pose a security threat. He's almost done with this time. You know, he may just be housed right there in the reception and given a job right there just to finish off the remainder of his time. I know the last time when I went to the joint, the reception that I went to was again up north, you know, semi up north, Delano. And I sat right there for 9 months before they transferred me. 9 months. My first time in Wasco, I believe I sat there for 5 months or 6 months. But this last time was 9 months, man, before I was moved on to finish my journey. You know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. I guess it depends where, you know, you need to be housed at. You know, everything plays a factor. The trust and believe administration, they do their homework. They're not going to just set you up for a failure. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're somebody that's known through the system and that has went against one of their own kind. Yeah, they're going to set you up for failure. But anyways, that's here nor there. But yeah, so Wasco State Prison, I don't know if it's changed, but from doing time from back when I was doing time, that was a reception center for me. And when I landed there, yes, there was Northerners. Yes, there was Bulldogs. Yes, we went at it with them. Yes, it wasn't an everyday war, but the shit jumped off. We were going to yard together. Okay, you got to keep in mind, Wasco State Prison isn't all cell living. They have what you would call they have 180 pods or something there like that. If you guys are familiar with Supermax, they're basically designed the same way. Okay, so you got a 180 that's divided in half. You know what I mean? So it's just they're divided in sections. You know, there's a door that they can open up so you could go to the other side of the pod. But right there in Wasco, when I was doing time, they never opened up them doors. Okay, so, you know, like I said, you got the 180, the 270 design, stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just the way they're made. But anyways, people, yeah. I have to disagree with the information that Gunner put out there. And I'm only disagreeing because I actually did time in Wasco State Prison, and we weren't segregated. Like I said, when there was a bulldog that landed amongst us, it usually something went off with somebody from the norte and the bulldog. You know what I mean, for certain reasons. And if you guys know, you know, I'm not going to put that out here on social media. It was a movement between them. You know what I mean? They cut ties, so by them cutting ties created tension and war between them, personal. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's just part of doing life behind them walls, people. Well, anyways, people, this story has went on long enough. I rambled on here and there, and that's what this OG does, man. Hey, just bear with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a professional news broadcaster like those two individuals claiming that I am, reading off of a teleprompter. That my shit is scripted, man. You guys just fucking script your ass, fools. But anyways, people, with that being said, man, it's time to bring this video to an end. Hit the like and subscribe button, put the notification bell and all. Let's get this channel up to 10,000 subscribers. That way we could bring this YouTube yada to life, baby. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours. Let's do this.